Okay, well, welcome everyone. I'm Betsey Bishop with the Star Thrower team. And tonight we're going to be talking about this really fantastic new checkout process. So at parties, so that we have a routine. The goal is simple systems, simple routines for everything that we do in our business, because that just makes it all so much easier. You can do more if you have a routine. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time if you have more of a routine. So we've come up with a really great routine for checking out customers at parties. The net effect of the way this routine goes is that we wind up with people willing to talk to us the next day or so about the business, and we book parties from this process. So it involves a couple of things. The things to have on hand, aside from the usual calculator and all that stuff, because you have to tally the order. Things to have on hand would be sparkle brochures, which is our consultant brochure, and a clipboard that has the little sparkle date sheet that the company gives us with all the cute cartoons on it and the themes that are for that month or for the season. We have one for February, but then we have another one for spring that we can use for March, April. But there's a space for our sparkle dates, our preferred next few party dates in there as well, some of the potential theme ideas. So you're going to put one or both of these sheets on a clipboard, and you'll have a pencil attached. Okay, so you need that, and then you need your sparkle brochures. So I'm going to role play with Rhonda. Rhonda has not done any of this before. She doesn't know how this goes. And so I'm the consultant, and she's the totally unsuspecting guest at the party. That's okay. You don't need to know a thing. But you can, for this first one, just be super agreeable. Okay, you were the guest that had a great time. You loved the jewelry. You're willing to go along with it, whatever I say.
I usually do.
You usually do. What I'm going to do is share my screen so that you can watch. Okay, so that you can see what it is that I am working with. So I wrote out an outline, and I'm going to post this file on the team page, on the Star Thrower team page. So this is the outline, and there are 4 components to the way this works. The first one is the personal connection as she's sitting down with you. The second one is a transition and an offer. The third one is setting up time to talk, and the fourth one is offering a party. Now, obviously, you're going to be tallying up her order, and that takes time, and all of this takes time. So we have to keep it as brief as possible. The goal is to be intentional in what we're saying, but casual in the way that we say it, so we don't sound scary or scripted or anything like that. Now, let me give you the setting. When you get to the party, one of the goals is to figure out where you're going to be able to go do your checkout. I personally like to stay near the table. So maybe I'm in the dining room with the jewelry, and I'm going to grab two chairs over off to the side, and one of them is going to be mine, and the other one is going to be for whoever's coming to check out. And you know how it goes. People are throwing their order forms at you, blah, 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 and they're ready, and I'm ready, and okay, I'm ready too, and they start making this pile, right? Well, the goal is to create a pile where the first one is face down on the table, and then you say, I'm going to put the very first order down, first face down on the table, and all of you, just when you're ready and you're ready for me to work on your order, put your order form face down on the table, and I'm going to pull from the bottom, and as soon as I'm ready for you, I'm going to call your name, and you come running over, and we'll get you checked out, okay? So that way you got a little bit of a structure to how these orders are coming in, and you can stay a little bit in charge of the process. Now, obviously, if somebody has to leave quickly, you're going to take care of them first, always. That's, we're not going to stick them in a pile, of course. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to try to model this with you. With Paula a little bit. So Rhonda. So Rhonda is a guest at the party. She had a great time. So Rhonda, you're coming over to sit down with me. So I just called your name. Hey, Rhonda, I'm ready for you. Come on over here real fast. So thanks so much for coming today. Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. Looked like you were having fun around the table. Had you seen any of this? You hadn't seen any of this before, had you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's great. Well, it's always fun for me to meet people who have never seen it before, because I always love the look in their eye. You know, while I'm working on your order form, I want to mention, I do not have a crystal ball, and I honestly know that no one ever comes to a jewelry party looking for a new side gig, right? But I love to send my guests home with something to look at about working with our company. And, I don't know if this would be a good fit for you, but would it be okay for me to give you our sparkle brochure to take home with you?
Sure, I'd like to do that.
Okay, good. Thanks. I mean, you never know, right? And after you look at it, you might think of some questions about what I do, because, who knows, you might have fun with this too. What seems to work best actually is to talk for a couple of minutes, but not tonight, of course, maybe tomorrow. Do you have a tiny window when I can give you a quick call?
I might, but I sleep in a little late in the mornings, but
Yeah, that's okay. How about later in the day?
that would work.
Yeah. Like 4 o'clock maybe?
Yeah, or a little bit early, anytime afternoon.
Okay. Why don't we shoot for 12 o'clock then, if that sounds okay with you?
Okay, that's good.
Okay. All right, great. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me text you real fast. Your phone number is on here. I'm going to text you right now so that you can see that it's me and not some, telemarketer tomorrow. And
Okay,
also,
great. Gotta answer those. I'll put your name next to it.
exactly. That's right. And then that way you'll know it's me. Also, tomorrow morning, I'll text you real fast just to make sure that the time is still okay for you. And if it isn't, just tell me no. But if it is, just tell me yes. And that way we'll know it's a quick little date. But we'll just talk for a couple of minutes just to see if you're at all, curious about anything that you're going to be seeing in the brochure or that you saw me do tonight. So in the meantime, let me work on your order really fast. And while I'm doing that here, let me give you my clipboard. It has my open party dates and some fun themes in case any of them work out for you, and in case you're thinking about getting some girlfriends together. And so while you're doing that, I'm going to work on your order real fast. Okay. And that's it. So that's how that works. So Rhonda, just out of curiosity, because you were flat out, you've never seen this before, you've never heard us talk about this. How did that feel for you as a potential guest?
I thought it was very non-pressure, because usually you're like, so you ready to have a party? So this was a little bit different, and it's getting you out of the mentality of booking parties versus, oh, let's see if you might fit into the consultant role. And then once you talk to them the next day, you could always go, well, if that doesn't suit you, maybe you might want to, have a party.
Right.
Even though they're looking at your open party.
Yeah. They still might not. That's a very good point. They still might not actually pick one, but maybe in the conversation the next day.
Yeah.
She might decide that she wants one after all. Maybe it's a
Okay,
decider part.
Let me have you and see how my friends take to it and then go from there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about it that way. Debbie and I were talking today about the concept of, can you switch the two? Can you do the party thing first and the business thing second? And what we were discovering is that if you talk about the party first and she says no, you kind of can't go back to the business part, right? You really have to start with the offering the sparkle brochure, and from the perspective of, I don't have a crystal ball, and I know no one ever comes to a party looking for a new side gig, right? And so we're basically doing a takeaway. Like, we're making it clear that we have no expectation that this is for them at all. But we want to get a conversation if there's any curiosity.
Right.
The key, so Debbie has done this already at a party, and she actually has somebody interested in signing up. Lori Downey did this at her party on Thursday last week. And she booked 2 conversations out of the, 7 or 9 who were there. The others said no, they weren't interested in talking. One of them self-selected at the last minute and decided not to talk to her, but the other one did. And they're talking again. They talked once and now they're talking again about, I think they're getting together for coffee or something about this.
Excellent.
So, yeah, really neat. And I think what this is going to do for us is give us a simple routine for how we're going to handle checkout. It's going to help us not lose anybody, not skip over anybody that we might have missed just because we were looking for those quote interested people. We don't know who's interested, and if we have this simple way of offering to everybody, I think we're going to get somewhere, and not miss them, right? We don't want to do that and have them go home and wish they had said something, and then they never do. So we don't want that for them. We want them to have a chance to hear about it if they want to. So open it up to the floor. Any thoughts about what you saw or how you could make this work yourself? Debbie, let me unmute you. I muted you. There you go. You're unmuted.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
I just think that the more we practice and the more we do it, it's just going to be like water off our back. It's just going to just be very fluent. I think it's just going to come out nice and easy. Like we're a boss at it. We're the boss ladies. We know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It just has to be real fluent, and you have to be matter-of-factly about it. You know what you're saying and how you're doing it. And the smoother we get at it and the more we do it, I think the better off we're going to be, you know. And it's an adjustment. It's a mind adjustment is what it is.
It is.
So we're doing it this way. Now we're going to be changing it. And it's kind of like, ooh, this is what was working before. Now, you know, do I really want to change, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Right. And for a lot of us, what we were doing wasn't really working well enough. It was working a little bit, but I think this really gives us a little bit more of a foolproof method. Yeah, to your point. You're right. The practice is going to be, the muscle memory is going to be everything.
Yeah.
I like the idea that it's not so wordy. There's not a whole lot to remember, because if you've got a lot of people at the party and you're trying to get everybody closed out, you don't want to take a lot of time. And I think that's been my issue all along, is like, I feel like I don't have the time to get into a conversation.
Good
So this
point.
kind of makes it
Good point.
casually to the point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's a really good point. I mean, to think about it, let's say it takes us 1 minute to tally up her order and 2 minutes to get through all of that, then we've got her out of there in 3 minutes. Maybe even with a time set scheduled, or maybe 4 minutes with a time set, a quick text sent, her order tallied, and she's booking a party on one of our Sparkle dates. I mean, that would be great. So what I would love to do is make sure that we're keeping track at our parties of what our results are in using this, so that we can tweak it if we need to, or reaffirm that this is a really good direction. I mean, so far, I really like what I'm hearing from the people that have been using it. So anyway, it'll be fun to practice it and get good at it and be brave and just do it. I have a party Wednesday night. It's my first opportunity. And I think I have 2 consultants shadowing me that night. So I have to make sure I do it the right way. Holding my own feet to the fire. So anyway. All right. Well, any last comments about that? Any other thoughts? I'm super excited about this. I think it's going to make your businesses so much more successful, and a lot of it's so much easier and fun, and more fun. Yeah. Oh, good. You're welcome, Anne. She says very, very helpful. Thank you. That's great. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for participating. I appreciate it. Thank you, Rhonda, for being the customer tonight. You were a lovely guest.
Thank you.
All right, everybody have a great night. Love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Let's go get them. Have fun.
thank you, Betsey.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Nice.